Welcome back to JK Out of the Closet. Today, Bart is opening up about starting JK and how that changed his life.
So this is my biggest moment, number 4. You guys can watch the other 3. How JK changed my life, and I credit a lot of it to Joe.
Hello.
Like, if you guys like heard in the other couple of episodes, it felt like my whole life I've always lived my life for someone else, you know? Like for my parents, or even joining the military, I want to show them I'm not a up. And even in college, I was like, I'm gonna go pre-med because that's what my parents want. So I felt like I lived my life. All my life's choices were for someone else. And then with JK, it was the first time that I did something for me. And it was so like freeing. Because it started off with, and I'm glad that we got into it at a time where there was no money. It was just something that me and Joe did that was really, really fun. And like, we couldn't wait to film, we couldn't wait to make up random characters, we couldn't wait to edit, we couldn't wait to watch the finished product. And because there's no money in it, it was so pure, and it was just cool. This is something I get to do and express a part of me, and also seeing that there's actually positive feedback. My whole life I thought my normal isn't the world's normal. I was like, oh shit, my normal people actually like. So that was like the first time where I was like, oh, this is actually really, really cool. Like, I don't have to kill myself. I don't have to kill myself. And I could actually be myself, and people like it.
So it was the first time you felt accepted for who you truly were, rather than like trying to fit someone else's expectations?
Yeah.
I see.
Did you know how to express who you truly were until JK? Or did
No.
Okay.
I really did it, and I think JK helped open that door, because it's like, I think every part of you, however you express yourself, it's like a muscle, you know. You can't, if you don't know how to do it, you just don't, you don't even know where to start. So I think what was easy was when we first started doing JK, it was a bunch of characters, so they're like little facets of who I am, and I get to put this mask on and express this one part of me, this other part of me, this other part of me. And then I got to like be random characters, and then when we started doing vlogs and JK News where we're speaking as ourselves, I think that was kind of like the final level of like, okay, cool, not only can I express all these parts of me, but I could also put all of that together, and now without a mask, this is who I really am. And it was very I think like therapeutic, actually. I think JK probably was like the therapy that I needed.
How does it turn into a business? Because it starts off so innocent and pure.
So that was the other part where I never thought I would get into business. I always thought like people just had money and then they're bosses, and then when you're a boss, you just hire people and then you just go tell them to do shit, and then like limousines just show up out of nowhere. I thought that's what bosses and entrepreneurship was. So I didn't even know we were actually even doing a business. I think we did a bunch of content, then 6 months later, YouTube invites us to be a partner, and then we're like, oh cool, we can make money. So it was more so still like kind of like wage thinking. I do this, I get money. So we get our first check, it's $1,000, and I'm like, oh shit, $1,000, that's crazy. Then we break it down, oh shit, that's for 6 months worth of work, that's actually nothing. But the fact that we were able to do something we liked to get money, that was really cool. Then all the comments were like, oh, you should make merch or whatever. So none of it was like, aha, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. It was just, oh, we should make merch. Oh yeah, let's go make merch. So we'd make clothes, and then our first meet and greet, we sold out of like, I think like 300 shirts.
What was the first merch that you ever had?
We made 3 t-shirts. One says underwear model, and then it had these red briefs. Then we had another one that says the Chinese N-word, and then shit based off.
It's not Chinese. It means that.
That shit.
That's a good correction.
I mean that.
I'm glad you were here.
But it sounds like the N-word.
Yeah. But you know,
We put the N-word in Chinese and we sold it.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
monetized it, baby.
Oh, we cleaned them out. 300 shirts gone.
Dude, I hella had that shirt.
Yeah, so we had that one, and then what was the third one we did?
Shit.
Dude, we gotta find that shirt.
Models, huh? A white one and a black one?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think there was a third shirt.
Okay, it was just those 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we sold all of them, and even then, I think in my mind, Joe was more entrepreneur than I was. He was like selling cars, BB guns at the time. In my mind, it was just like, oh, cool, they bought all the merch. It wasn't like, oh shit, this is lucrative.
Well, he had sold lizards for like 10 years before that,
Yeah.
He was catching them in front yard.
and piranhas.
Businessman.
But pre JK, I think what even made JK possible in my mind was when me and Joe were friends first. He was a rapper at the time, actually. So I would go with him. To go like he would record songs at his friend's house. I would see him shoot music videos. I would see him perform at like clubs and bars and stuff. So I think that was kind of like me going like, oh fuck, this guy just does whatever the fuck he wants.
This guy's hard as fuck.
And then I'm selling piranhas and ecstasy.
You're catching birds in backyards and selling them on the street.
So I was like, oh shit, that's cool. Like you could actually do what you want. And then so that helped me like pursue JK, and without the money getting involved, it became a very organic thing that led me into understanding what business was. And then I'm like, oh shit, okay, so we need more staff. But that means if we need this guy to shoot for us all the time, this guy needs to pay his rent. Oh no, we need to make like some sort of monthly recurring model to be able to bring this guy on. And then so it started like almost making us put on the entrepreneur business hat without even knowing that we're doing it.
Would you say that might have been like Joe's biggest influence on you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what was like Joe's like most biggest negative influence?
Joe's negative influence?
That's a great question.
I don't think Joe had a negative influence on me, to be honest. I think most of it has
We'll
been...
go around the room. Who has negative?
When it's your turn. Gambling. No.
I think most of it has been positive, because I felt like I've lived a lot of my life inside. You know, because it's like, I felt like alone, I didn't feel like I express myself. And I think Joe lives a lot of his life outside. So like, if me and Joe are together, like let's say like someone does something, Joe's like, oh, that's gay. And that's literally what is in my head, but I couldn't say it because I don't have the express muscle. So I think me being with Joe, it's like we feel the same thing, but mine is inside and his is outside.
What a sick positive influence.
Great influence.
That's a good observation.
It helped me be able to slowly express myself more and more and more and more.
That's true. That's like when we were at JJ's Cafe and that fan was being weird, and we were all thinking like, what the hell? And he immediately was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're being weird.
Bro, we don't know you. You're fucking weird.
Joe's shoving him out the door. Hey, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Before we could even like think, he's already like saying it. I'm like, damn, this was fast.
Yeah, my internal thoughts are his external thoughts.
It's so fast.
That's funny.
The angel inside and the devil hands.
Yeah, that was like,
What a callback.
that was a big moment, because I never lived life for myself, and I slowly was able to like make all my own decisions, and each one of my own decisions I also have to eat the repercussions of. But because of that, I was able to learn more. So it was like, oh, if I wanted to ditch a class to go shoot a JK video, that's on me. You know, every single thing was like, it's on me. And then if JK fails, it's on me. But if I didn't become a doctor, I'm like, oh, that's not what I wanted anyways. You know, so it's like for the first time, it's like you have full ownership, full responsibility. So it's like the good and the bad side of things versus running someone else's track. You're on your own track. And without JK, for sure, there'll be no Barbell Brigade or any other stuff that I was able to build off of this muscle that I had to first develop, living life for myself.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that back in like when you were at UCLA, and I'm like, yo, we struck gold. Like things like this don't happen like normally, and we gotta like really like sprint with it. And I'm like, man, this guy doesn't want to be a doctor. Why the fuck isn't he rolling with it? And I didn't get it at the time that like you were going through your own battle of like, I have to stick to my thing. Yeah. But that also inspired me to go like, I need to graduate too.
Because you were just saw him doing it, and you're like, fuck, I got to do it too.
I never stuck with anything in my life, but he was inspiration for that. Of like, oh, he's gonna see it out. Like he committed, he's gonna see it through. So I'm gonna see it through too. And then so we both made a pact of like, but we have to go to school first.
And me and Joe ended up being fucking volunteers at a hospital too.
Yeah.
Just because we're like, okay, like what's the safe way to do it? Oh, let's find those occupations that have like the 3x12 schedule. So either police officer or nurses or whatever. And then so we'll do that. And
I wish you picked cops, man. That would have been so good.
Imagine us as cops, dude.
Male nurses is cool.
We would volunteer at this like USC like tertiary care hospital where we get like if you volunteer for 4 hours you get a free meal, and we're doing all kinds of stuff to try to like make it work.
I remember fucking helping a guy wipe the patient's butt, and I was like, fuck, I don't want to do this shit.
For a free meal.
But you're like, oh, the nuggets are so good.
Well, the hospital food was amazing. It was so good.
It was helpful being there too, because then you have fresh residents that just came out of medical school, and you just see them like doing the paperwork going like this, because they're like working 80-hour days, you know. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, is it like worth it at the end to make it? And he goes, you just gotta really love it, man. And I'm like, fuck.
That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So you guys were volunteering so you could become doctors?
Well, like some sort of medical profession that had a 3x12 schedule,
Got it,
so we
got
could
it,
do JK the other 4 days.
Got it.
I was on my path to being a psychiatrist, and he was gonna be a medical doctor.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then that's when we were like, do we really want to do this shit?
It just sounds, the way he told the story, it sounds like you guys were just volunteering to get a meal.
Hot plate. That was the that was the bonus.
Yeah, that was the
That saves a
bonus.
little bit of money so you could afford it.
Yeah, that was the
Those
bonus.
meals add up.
Got it. So you were both eating.
Yes.
And then you eventually said, what makes you say, fuck it, we're doing this? One track mind.
I think what we said was, so after we both graduated, we're like, I don't think we had a monetary amount. It was more so, let's just pursue it 100% for a year and then see what happens. So during that year, I was working as a tutor, and I would work from, I think like from 1 or 2 until 7, and then Joe was working at a warehouse, and he would come every night from Monday through Friday, and we would write from like 7/8 until 11, and then on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we would shoot skits. And didn't matter if we were sick, if we had a fever or anything, we're like, this is what we're gonna do, and we did it for 52 weeks straight, and we even had a show in the middle of it, and then so we didn't turn anything down. So we had a show in San Francisco. So I remember it was me, Joe, and Gio. We drove to San Francisco, performed, drove back. On the way back, Joe slept so that he could make it to his job on Monday.
Holy.
So we hustled really, really hard. And I think by that end of that year, I think our channel was making maybe like $2 or $3 grand a month, and we're like, that's enough to do it. We're like, that's $1 grand for you and $1 grand for me. We're good.
$2,008, baby. $2,008.
That's true,
It
yeah.
was like $1 grand for him, $1 grand for me, maybe $1 grand for Casey, maybe $1 grand for Gio, maybe it was like $4 grand.
I don't think we paid ourselves though until later. No, I think what happened was, I wanted to finish my debt first and quit my job, and then I don't think for a year we paid ourselves at all, but we paid them.
That's true.
We paid everybody else.
We had to pay them because that's why I still tutored. So so like we did other jobs to pay ourselves, and then we used JK to pay the other people. But after that, we had like this kind of machine going, and then so like we're like, okay, this is a good machine, and then so by the time we were able to quit our jobs, we stuck to that weekly upload for fucking I don't know how long, like 7 or 8 years.
Damn, dude.
Once a week.
Opening up other channels, and that was just running out of my house, and then we finally were able to get this place, and then from this place we grew to the place in downtown, and it was just like it was cool to kind of like build kind of like a real life like Sim City, but like in real life and seeing every step of the way. Yeah, it was pretty cool. We accomplished a bunch of things that I never would have even imagined, and even until this day, I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy what we did.
Other than the obvious, which is the monetary part, right?
Yeah.
What's the biggest part about JK that's changed your life?
Anything you want to accomplish, there's a way of reverse engineering it and breaking it down to a small enough of a step where you can always take the first step.
Okay.
That's like the first thing. So like, because like when I was a kid, I always just thought like everything just happened. You know, like if someone was a movie star, it was because they're fucking eating a bun may on the street, and some guy's like, oh, whoa.
Got discovered, yeah.
You know, they're like, I'm a director.
Yeah.
Look at that face.
Yeah, I always thought like that's how everything was.
You could be a movie
You
star.
ever wanted to be a picture?
Yeah, like someone was just like they got a basketball and it was just like, oh, slam dunk. Oh shit, it was just in me the whole time. What the fuck? Like I thought that's how people like made it.
Yeah.
Like a kids movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that believe that though.
Yeah, people still say that shit too. Yeah.
But then when I meet people that have achieved a high level across all industries, I'm like, oh, everyone started really small. And they just fell in love with what they did, and then they eventually became fucking Flea from fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers or whatever, you know? Like,
What a great example. Didn't know you were a Red Hot Chili Peppers guy.
So now that you've done this for so many years, right? And like that, and like you just said, it's all about that next upload. As you have kind of clawed back some of those things that are demanding your time, do you see the value in like sacrificing those things so you can have more free time for family, or do you miss having more to do?
I definitely miss having like the mental stimulation part of it, because that stuff's really fun. Like even during the days when like JK was like full steam, when we're doing like JK films and JK Party and Ask the Fields and writing the movie, I remember I'd be in the office literally from like 9 a.m. until like 9 p.m. and we got all eat shinsengumi or whatever. And I remember it being extremely fulfilling, like you're playing this real life video game nonstop. But also like I think everything is kind of age appropriate, because at that time I think that's what matters to you. And then as you get older, like before I'd be like, oh, it's all for the art. And then later on, you're like, I don't give a fuck about the art. Is it gonna pay me because I need to like pay the bills, or can I like support a family? So I think your values slowly start to shift. But now, like where I'm at, I really care about family. So like no matter how stimulating or how cool something is, it won't overshadow what's important to me right now.
Well, yeah, no, because you took me out for my birthday. Credit to me, it was my birthday recently, and you were saying that like you and Gio have Thursday night date nights, and you couldn't have done that before with Barbell, and I thought that was interesting because, you know, it's almost like you added value in a different way.
Oh yeah, during those, so like it was cool to go through those days because we started Barbell during JK Full Steam. You know, like JK Party, JK Films, Ask the Fields, writing the movie. And then we had a gym, and we were selling apparel and supplements and vlogging every day. Like it was like crazy. So like me and Gio did have like a really dark time during our relationship, and it was because we didn't really have a relationship. We're way more coworkers than we were like boyfriend and girlfriend. So that's like a part of our relationship that we felt like we sacrificed to pursue whatever we were pursuing. So now we're like now that we have this time, like let's really like, you know, like enjoy what we kind of gave up at that time.
Yeah, that's cool.
Can you? This is just a very fan question. Does like a favorite like OG JK Films skit come to mind for you? Like your personal favorite?
One of my favorite is the Wolverine trailer we shot. I really like that one.
That's one of my favorites too.
Yakuza!
Yeah, I like that one because like that's one of the like I feel like so I think in Korean History Channel and the uncle stuff, I think that stuff's dope. It's just me and Joe, just content, no editing, no production, and that's what like I guess got our first wave of followers. But we didn't like train for any of that. You know, it wasn't like, oh yeah, I did the full UCB course, and then I was touring with Second City for however long, and then now I'm able to demonstrate like the skill that we put together. It was just like, hey, look at this trick I could do, and then people were like, oh wow. So it felt like it felt like it wasn't something we really like worked hard for. During those skit days, like we took classes, we had to learn what editing was, and we had to put all that together. So it's kind of taking, I guess, what was our natural talent, plus the skill and the hard work, then including all of the friends that we've met in the industry, and being able to make something that is now like forever cemented. and it's all be online forever. Like Taika could watch it when he's 50. Is pretty fucking cool.
Coming in Socks is forever cemented too.
In socks,
It's a similar idea.
In what way? Deep dive. 20 more minutes.
No. So when we come back, we're gonna talk about Bart. What I think changed his life the most, becoming a father.
Wow. But after these ads.
Thank you.
Yeah.